Hey, architecture firm owners and emerging leaders. Get ready for unparalleled insight into the development of a world-class architecture firm and a worldwide organization driving the digital transformation of the design and construction industry. With Build Smart, the podcast that's changing how our profession operates. We share the incredible stories behind innovation in the building industry with my friend and co-host, Patrick McLeamy, FAIA, former CEO of the international architecture firm, HOK.
You know, Yamasaki's office or firm lasted during his lifetime. And when he passed away, I think that was the end of the Yamasaki office. Helmut did not want that. He wanted a firm that would live out and grow beyond the founders.
In Season 1, discover the untold stories behind HOK's meteoric rise, from 150 employees in St. Louis to a powerhouse with over 1,900 staff members and 27 offices worldwide.
You know, they weren't as polite as the Kojima people. That was just boom. And anytime you have a creditor, whether it's Kojima or the bank, that wants their money, unless you can raise money someplace else, you are out of business.
Bankrupt. And hold on tight for Season 2, where Patrick takes us on a new adventure as chairman of Building Smart International, shaping the future of digital transformation in the design, construction, and operation of built assets.
Ian Howell, Ken Harold, and I, Ken was my technical representative from HOK. The three of us took a tour of Europe of 5 cities in 5 days. Very busy time.
Simply follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Smart now and uncover lessons that will transform you and your architecture firm. Hey, architecture firm owners and emerging leaders. Get ready for unparalleled insight into the development of a world-class architecture firm and a worldwide organization driving the digital transformation of the design and construction industry. With Build Smart, the podcast that's changing how our profession operates. We share the incredible stories behind innovation in the building industry with my friend and co-host, Patrick McLeamy, FAIA, former CEO of the international architecture firm, HOK.
You know, Yamasaki's office or firm lasted during his lifetime. And when he passed away, I think that was the end of the Yamasaki office. Helmut did not want that. He wanted a firm that would live out and grow beyond the founders.
In Season 1, discover the untold stories behind HOK's meteoric rise, from 150 employees in St. Louis to a powerhouse with over 1,900 staff members and 27 offices worldwide.
You know, they weren't as polite as the Kojima people. That was just boom. And anytime you have a creditor, whether it's Kojima or the bank, that wants their money, unless you can raise money someplace else, you are out of business.
Bankrupt. And hold on tight for Season 2, where Patrick takes us on a new adventure as chairman of Building Smart International, shaping the future of digital transformation in the design, construction, and operation of built assets.
Ian Howell, Ken Harold, and I, Ken was my technical representative from HOK. The three of us took a tour of Europe of 5 cities in 5 days. Very busy time.
Simply follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Smart now and uncover lessons that will transform you and your architecture firm. Welcome to the EntreArchitect Studio. Hi, my name is Mark R. LePage, and you are listening to EntreArchitect Podcast, where every Friday I speak with inspiring, passionate people who share their knowledge and expertise, all to help you build a better business as a small firm entrepreneur architect. EntreArchitect Studio is a series of special bonus episodes where I invite inspiring, passionate people to share their knowledge and information about the building products and the services to help you build better buildings. I'm glad you're here. Let's go see who's joining us today at the EntreArchitect Studio. And one more quick note before we get started. This episode was recorded live at AIA Conference in Chicago at the ARCAT booth under the Big Red A. So please enjoy the background noise as an added feature to this episode. Let's get to it. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Beth Maguire. I'm an architectural and design representative.
What's your role at Benjamin Moore? What is that?
So I call on everyone from stagers, interior designers, both residential and commercial. I call on architects, small firms, large firms, and individuals that are just have their own.
Are you based regionally or?
I am.
What's your region?
My area is I cover all of Michigan and most of Indiana.
All right, that's a pretty big area.
It is
a lot of travel.
A little bit.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about Benjamin Moore and what they're doing recently.
So the one thing I love about Benjamin Moore is that we have always been about innovation, and so we have some new products that have come out in recent years. Also, we're going through a little bit of a portfolio kind of optimization. And what that means is that we're looking at all of our products and we're saying, how do we improve on some? How do we get rid of some duplicates?
Yeah.
And really making it easier for the specifier, that end user. So there aren't, so many products that can do the same thing that it makes it a little bit easier to choose a product.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about the systems that you have to help architects specify Benjamin Moore paint.
So we do have ArcAt. We have different tools for helping them to write their specifications. Most of the architectural reps, what we do is we work with the architects directly, and they might need product information or specification of a specific project, but then they also might need assistance with their master specs. Putting us next to competitive products. And so we have to do a lot of research we have to know not only our products, but our competitors as well.
Yeah, for sure. So I know I'm a residential architect. We specify Benjamin Moore all the time. So we have the big cases in multiple forms. How are those updated? Are they updated on a regular basis, and how do they get updated?
So again, we will go into a firm, into their library, make sure that they're updated. As a company, we updated our color tools back in 2016. Believe it or not, we had different color tools in Canada than the U.S.
Oh, wow.
And we sort of combined those, which was very smart. And so we have those tools available to the architects, designers. We'll go into their library and provide those.
Do you, as a representative, do you ever go into the field, after the specification to do any work?
Sure. Sometimes we get asked to go into the field, maybe while the project is going. They'll want us to look at a difficult substrate maybe, or they'll want us to view kind of what they're working on to maybe recommend a product. Or, there might have been something that was painted before, maybe not our product. And so maybe there's an issue and they'll want us to take a look so that we can troubleshoot for them down the way.
How has the industry changed in paint, right? I've been an architect for 25 years. Paint has changed dramatically since I started. What are some of the specific things that have changed over the last couple of decades?
So for us at Benjamin Moore, a lot has changed. Primarily our tint system. For many years we had oil-based paints in the industry,
right.
And then 70s latex became kind of the primary thing that people used. And there really was a system out there called universal tint colorants that were meant to tint those two broad categories of paint. The problem with that is that you're trying to mix a solvent-based colorant with a water-based paint, and so you have to add chemicals and things like that to get them to emulsify or work together. And so when you're adding a lot of colorant to a deep dark color, what happens is you can get things like color rub-off and all of that. And so at Benjamin Moore, our chemists developed this, as the VOC laws were changing, they developed this system called GenX. And it is proprietary colorant system at Benjamin Moore. And it really eliminates all of those those extra chemicals that you would put in. It's really like mixing paint with paint. So they're what we call resin rich. They contain resin, which is a component of paint that gives a paint its performance characteristics, like how well does it wash up or touch up. And so now with those deep dark colors, you're getting a product, a great product to start with. You're tinting it on a better system. You get better fade resistance, better hide, and all of those things.
Yeah,
So
it's
pretty
amazing how the quality has improved, even in the last 10 years. That it's gone from when VOCs became the big critical push to make some big changes. Those early VOC paints were a little rough.
They were. And, it's funny, some of those early paints, they didn't really want us to talk about low VOC because they were not the best performers, but actually they were, on our Gen X system. But those have improved so much over the years. Those low VOC, a lot of our products are low VOC or zero VOC, like our commercial line Ultra Spec 500, that's zero VOC, and then it's tinted with our zero. So we have a lot of products that meet that. And so many, because of the laws, a lot of those products for interiors.
Yeah. So with architects, I'm sure you do lunch and learns and that kind of thing. Are there any other services that you provide for architects to help them learn about paint and paint products?
So we'll do, yes, we would do, we partner with organizations like AIA. We do events where we will host, different CEUs and things like that. We try to work with individual chapters wherever we are. I work with AIA Grand Rapids, and so to work with those individual areas where we can present, materials maybe at their local meetings or things. So we have those opportunities as well as the.
Any idea anywhere you want to go next?
I actually just talking about kind of the extra service, kind of what we connect, I guess. We have the ability to, again, work with, individual architects, medium and large firms, and small firms too. And we really want to be their advocate, for the architect. Just like you guys are the advocate for your client, we want to be your advocate, your advisor. We want you to call us when you have questions about products for your individual projects, because a lot of times, a master spec is going to be just kind of every substrate you can probably imagine. But so often on projects, it's very specific, right, that you're working on. You might have, you think you've seen it all, and yet you've got this unique situation where you go, gosh, what do I use here? And so that's where we, as the ADRs, we want to be here for you to call us and just say, hey, what do you recommend?
Yeah. Is Benjamin Moore doing anything on the trade side to improve the application of the product?
Oh, absolutely. Perfect example is our booth, Aura. It is our top of the line, generally used in residential, though it could be used commercially as well. We listened. We listened to the not only specifier, but we listened to the end user, the painter who is applying it. The open time on the Aura it dried very quickly.
Right.
It was a nice thing, but for them, they wanted a little bit more time. So we improved on that with our satin and our semi-gloss, so that as they're painting trim and such, they have a little bit more time to work with the product.
Yeah.
So we really do like that.
Yeah, because that's a big piece, right, of paint work is that the skills of the pros putting the paint on is really a big piece of it, right? That
absolutely. And we really try, before we ever release a product out into the world, we go through rigorous testing. We bring painters in. We have them give us feedback. We have a testing facility in Flanders, New Jersey, which is our test farm. Really cool place.
I've driven right by it a couple of times. Yep.
It's pretty remarkable if you visit it. And we have paint on every surface, vertical and horizontal. Our chemists out there, they get the product. They're applying it. They don't know actually what they're applying, but next to competitive products. And then they test it and they make sure that it goes through and will do what we say it's going to do.
Yeah. Those testing areas must be really interesting with all the different colors and the different types of paints. And are there areas within that facility that sort of just are, walls of different color paints?
In our corporate office, for sure. And in those, they will definitely, they're pretty colorful. But it's amazing. The test farm itself is pretty colorful because of all the different, trying to test different pigments as well. So,
where do you think the paint industry is moving towards in the future? What's coming next?
I think, we're always going to be, have to keep a keen eye on that environmental piece of it. I once had a student ask me, knowing what we know, why isn't every paint zero VOC? And great question. But, sometimes when you get you're talking high performance products, you need to add some components that will, give you the durability. But I think it's always going to be headed, especially for interiors, you want to be cognizant of that.
Yeah. Well, it only gets better, right? Every time I use another can of Benjamin Moore, it's the color is richer, the application is easier, it's more durable. It's amazing the durability of paint. It's that used to you rub against it and the paint would wear. Today, you put on the paint and it's really hard to damage it.
It is, and it's really a testament to not only the paint itself, but the coloring system. And I think it's one of the things that has always really drew me to the company is the innovation. We've got all of these products that really, I think, solve a problem for either the painter or for the designer. For example, we have a product called Aura Bath and Spa. Now, I love a matte finish everywhere in my house, but then you get to the bathroom and you have to have something a little higher sheen so that you can resist the water. We came out with a product, Aura Bath and Spa, that resists moisture, so you don't get that, that kind of weeping that you would see, and you can use a lower sheen in your bathroom. So pretty interesting. We recently came out on the commercial side with a product called Command, and Command really allows for facilities to be able to come in and take one product, and so it really speeds up the turnaround time and all of those things. And it's a urethane, so urethanes dry to a very hard finish, and they're also UV resistant, which means they can be solved.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, paint is chemistry, right? And is there anything from a technology point of view that Benjamin Moore is doing, that makes either the product or the service better? Are there any specification technologies that are coming along? Or
so, I go back to our chemists. We every year, prior to the 2019,
right.
Before we actually, at our annual sales meeting, we would have the chemists come in, which was the last few years we had that. It was so wonderful because we got a glimpse into their world and to be able to see what they're working on, things that may not come out for several years, but just knowing that they really are innovative and they're trying to always come out with some things to really answer what you're talking about and think, what could paint be in the future.
Right.
So, yeah,
right.
they're really fun.
Very interesting. So what's your favorite color?
Oh, that's a loaded question. Right now,
be specific.
I'm very into navy. One of my favorites that I recommended to a lady this morning actually is called Polo Blue, and it's a very blackened navy. It's beautiful. So it's
one of my favorite colors is a blackened blue. We just painted our foyer. It wasn't that color, but it was a very dark blue, and love it.
Good.
Yeah.
So that's my color of the day, I should say.
Well, Beth, I appreciate you coming by here talking about Benjamin Moore and the future of paint. I've learned a lot, and I appreciate you coming by and talking about it.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
All right, thank you. If you liked this episode of the EntreArchitect podcast, please share a rating on your podcast player right now. Go ahead, click 5 stars. Then write a review and share a link to this special episode with a friend. This episode of the EntreArchitect Studio, it was brought to you by ARCAT, the online resource delivering quality building material information, CAD details, BIM, specifications, and so much more, all for free at arcat.com. Go check them out, arcat.com. EntreArchitect is a member of Gable Media, the largest, most engaged podcast network in the world that's dedicated exclusively to the AEC industry. Listen and subscribe to all the shows at gablemedia.com. That's GABL media.com. If you offer building products or serve the AEC industry and you want to join me here at the EntreArchitect Studio, let's connect. Send me an email at podcast@entrearchitect.com. That's podcast@entrearchitect.com. Thanks for listening to this special episode here at the EntreArchitect Studio. I'll be back with our next regular episode of the EntreArchitect podcast this Friday. Until then, love, learn, and share what you know.
Imagine earning continuing education credits while doing exactly what you're doing right now. Well, you can. Gable Media has revolutionized the way you earn your continuing education credits with a groundbreaking approach. Forget running around town and scouring the internet for credit-worthy courses. Fulfill your CE requirements effortlessly by listening to engaging podcasts just like the one you're listening to now. Our podcasts are designed to educate, entertain, and inspire, all in a user-friendly environment. But wait, there's more. Architects, Gable Media is also approved as an AIA continuing education services provider. Upon completion, we handle everything, from reporting your hours directly to the AIA to storing your certificates in your personal Gable Media profile for your self-reporting needs. So follow the link in the show notes and start earning your credits in the most innovative and entertaining way possible with Gable Media.
Attention architects and creative minds, get ready to supercharge your brand with Build Your Brand, the podcast that's unlocking the secrets of branding success for creatives. Hey there, it's Mark Arlepage, founder of EntreArchitect, and I'm inviting you to join my friend, architect marketing expert Jeff Eccles at Build Your Brand podcast, where he explores the captivating stories of the world's top brands and transforms their lessons into powerful moves for small firm architects and creatives like you. In Season 1, Jeff shares the thrilling tale of Southwest Airlines, where he dissects their journey to the summit and distills it into strategies tailor-made for you.
It's important to keep in mind that companies like Southwest compete in the real world, just like you, and face real-world challenges, just like you. You might be surprised at how similar those challenges are to the struggles that you grapple with on a day-to-day basis.
Don't miss out on your blueprint for success. Subscribe, tune in, and let's build your brand together.
You may have noticed that the very best brands in the world are also known for having somewhat unique corporate cultures. That's often the glue that holds everything together when they encounter those rough spots.
We don't do it because it inconveniences the passengers to whom we are primarily dedicated, the short haul, frequent flyer.
Follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Your Brand today. Remember, no matter the size, the journey's the same. Your brand's journey to the top starts here.